Hey guys, what's going on? This is xVFRoSTeDVx here bringing you another X and Y narrative Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle I had against Dooku26 on my live stream yesterday. He was a new viewer on my stream and I was just talking about UU matches because I'm actually planning on starting UU starting Monday on my stream. It's just going to be for the week and then it's going to be a balance between UU and OU, and then I might try to get into lower tiers like NU and RU, but that might not be until later on because I still need to study UU. Actually, just jumping into the match, I know this is why you guys clicked the link for, right? Anyways, I have a Choice Band, Arcanine, Rachi, Choice Specs, Noivern, Choice Scarf, Glade, Suicune, and Ampharos. I just realized I had 3 Choice Select Pokemon this match. My opponent has Chestnut, Nidoqueen, Sharpedo, Cinccino, Darmanitan, and Vilvalon. Definitely threats. The Sharpedo is definitely a threat because I don't really have much to take its hits if it carries the Ice Beam, like Crunch and Waterfall. I don't really have much to take it. I mean, Suicune is really my only check to it, and then, you know, the Ampharos, obviously. But after it gets enough speed boost and carries the Ice Fang, I mean, it could be a dangerous Pokemon to deal with. The Darmanitan's always a threat because it's a very hard hitter. This is one of those times that I wish my Arcanine was actually Flash Fire instead of the Intimidate, but the Intimidate just works as well. And last but not least, the Cinccino, because, you know, Choice Bandit or Choice Scarf Cinccino is always a threat. Choice Scarf Cinccino outruns my fastest Pokemon on my team, which would be Noivern / Gallade, because Gallade's scarfed. But yeah, expected leads, I wasn't really sure what he was going to lead with. I was kind of thinking the Vilvalon, but I kind of blocked out the idea that he was going to lead with it at the start of the match because it just never came to mind to me. But saying that, let's get into the match. So like I said in the team preview, I wasn't really sure what he was going to lead off with. I was kind of thinking he would lead off with the Nidoqueen to try to get the Stealth Rocks up because on the look of my team, I really didn't have a Defogger unless Noivern gets Defog and I don't know about it. But he does lead off with the Vilvalon, and I can't stay in because I don't want any of my Pokemon to be put to sleep. And the only Pokemon that I have that could be put to sleep at this current moment is actually Suicune, because my Suicune's a Crocoon. You know, the common Scold, Calm Mind, Sleep Talk. So he goes and uses the Sleep Powder. He puts my Suicune to sleep, and I am perfectly okay with this because, like I said, I have the Sleep Talk. I'm a Crocoon, so I'm completely okay with this. So he can't put anything else to sleep on my team until my Suicune is woken up. So that's really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to burn off a turn of sleep, go for the Sleep Talk, and what do I get? I of course pull the rest off the very first turn. So I can't stay in because I obviously know the Bullet Seed is coming, and I should have just switched out into my Rachi here. And in case you guys are wondering, no, my Rachi didn't have Stealth Rocks. It has Iron Head, Thunder Wave, U-Turn, and Ice Punch. So I switched out into Arcanine because, like I said, I kind of thought this thing was like going to be Choice Banded. So just to take that extra precaution, I did go into the Arcanine. In the case that it was Choice Bandit, at least I get the Intimidate off, as he does get the Bullet Seed off on my Arcanine. It obviously ate that up. Delicious. So he's forced to switch out, and I saw the Life Orb recoil right there, so I know it's actually Life Orb, and now instead of the Choice Band. As he goes and switches out into Nidoqueen, I'm going to go ahead and pull a switch out into my Gallade, expecting him to go for the Rock Blast at that point in time, because that kind of was going to be would be the next move. This move, I expected him to switch out because, you know, I'm a fighting Psychic type, and Gallade normally carry the Zen Headbutt / Psycho Cut, but he wasn't, I guess, afraid of that, and I decided to go for the knockoff, expecting him to go for the switch, but I wasn't sure what into. So the fact that I'm locked into knockoff, and that didn't do too much the first time, I can't stay in, so I'm forced to switch out into my Suicune, as he does get the Stealth Rocks up, and then the following turn he ends up going for the Roar as I switched out into my Suicune. And then he pulls me out of my Noivern, and here I just wanted to play it safe, and I just thought the Air Slash would be enough. A Choice Specs Air Slash from a Noivern I thought would be enough to kill the Nidoqueen. It turns out that this thing must be It's not Assault Vest because it had Stealth Rocks. But it's definitely like specially defensive in some sort of way because that took that way too well. I took a hit from Sludge Wave, which was kind of bad because now I can't switch out, because if I switch back in, Stealth Rocks is going to kill off my Noivern, which is kind of upsetting because Noivern could have done a lot of work this battle. And Sharpedo's doing what it normally does, and it goes and protects just to get the speed boost off, and I am forced to just stay in because I can't switch it out, because I could just use it for death fodder, but I got nothing on my team that wants to take a hit from this thing, because like I said this before, this thing is a threat. And my Noivern goes down, and I decide to go and pull a switch into my Ampharos, because my Ampharos is like the only thing I really have that kind of can take a hit from this thing and threaten it out because of the Thunderbolt, because I know that this Sharpedo is not going to want to stay in, because he also knows that he's not going to be able to take me out unless he has the Earthquake, and even then I can take it at full HP. So he decides to pull out a switch into his Chestnut as I go and Mega Evolve. I go straight for the Thunderbolt. I could have predicted the switch into Chestnut, but like I said before, Sharpedo is a threat, because if I went for the Dragon Pulse and it survived, it could have went for the Earthquake the following turn and whatnot. I do get lucky here, and I do get the Paralysis hacks here, which actually does come into play a little later on in the match, as you see. I can't stay in with the Ampharos. I could try to kill it off with the Dragon Pulse, but that to me would be too risky, so I decided to pull a switch out into my Arcanine just to see what this thing would go for. I kind of was thinking the Leech Seed, but I had nothing to block a Leech Seed. So I decided to switch in the Arcanine, take 25% Stealth Rock damage, get the Intimidate off, and he does go for the Leech Seed. Like I said, I got nothing to take a Leech Seed, so he was going to seed anything that comes in, good for him. But this is where the Paralysis comes into play, because the next turn he decides to go for the Spiky Shield, and he gets full parried here. And because he gets that full para, I'm able to get off the Flare Blitz and take out his Chestnut, which was absolutely amazing. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of the narration. So his Chestnut just dies. Bye! But, yeah, my Arcanine is at very low HP, and I decide to go ahead and fodder it off on whatever he decides to bring in, because he, again, Arcanine can't survive a Stealth Rock switch, and just like Noivern from the last time, I'm forced to fodder off my Arcanine, because there would be no further use for it other than to use it as death fodder. But I wanted to get a free switch into Frost, the Gallade, which Gallade is actually Choice Scarfed. He doesn't know this, and I found out he's not Choice Scarfed himself. So I just beat the shit out of that squirrel, and it goes down. So that was awesome, and I believe he decides to go and pull a switch into Vilvalon next. Yeah, Vilvalon. And I'm locked into close combat, and I don't want to lose my Gallade yet to a Hurricane, just because I might need it later to break the stash or whatever. It's Choice Scarf, so it could be still useful. I decided to pull a switch into the Ampharos here, and I kind of make a misplay during the next turn. He decides to go for the Quiver Dance, which I'm okay with, because like I'm a Mega Ampharos, I can take any one of his hits. And I decided to, because I was asking about Vilvalon's base speed in the chat room, and I wasn't really too sure what Vilvalon's base speed was. But I figured I go for the agility, I go +2, I can outspeed a Vilvalon +1. No, it turns out to actually be timid nature, and it takes me out, which was kind of unfortunate, and what I should have done was just go straight for the Thunderbolt, because there was no reason not to, because I could have just broken the stash right there, and I would have been in a way better position. So now I'm forced to bring out Rachi, because it's the only thing that I have that can really take a hit from Vilvalon, as he decides to pull a switch into Sharpedo, because actually the rest of his team does not appreciate Thunder Wave. He had to have something T-Waved, so he decides to T-Wave his Sharpedo, and he decides to keep it in the next turn, because there's absolutely no reason to keep Sharpedo at this point, because the only aspect that Sharpedo really has, the reason why it sweeps, is because of its speed. And because he lost that speed, he's obviously no longer of use, so he decides to fodder it off right there. And I take this opportunity to go for the U-turn, knock it out, and go straight into my Gallade, expecting the Vilvalon switching, because he doesn't know that I have the Ice Punch or I'm Scarfed. So as he does bring in the Vilvalon, I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Ice Punch just to break down into its stash, because I know he's going to go ahead and Quiver Dance because he thinks I can't do anything to him, which he was dead wrong. He sets up the Quiver Dance, which, like I said before, this thing was timid. It turns out to be a 90 base speed, and my Gallade, yes, is jolly, but Gallade only runs at 80 base speed, so Vilvalon outruns by a trolley 10 points. So my Gallade goes down to the Hurricane. There was nothing I could have really done differently. I could have brought in Rachi, but I wanted the Death Fodder Gallade because I saw it no longer being used because I knew his last Pokemon actually turned out to be the Darmanitan, and Darmanitan outruns because of his own choice card. So this turn, he decides to go for the Hurricane, just try to get the confusion off. But it doesn't work. I decided to go for the U-turn just to take out the Vilvalon and then get a free switch into my Suicune because his last Pokemon is the Darmanitan. And pretty much the only way he could win at this point is if his Darmanitan carries this Earthquake. So I send out Suicune, which is still sweeping from the Vilvalon Sleep Powder, and I've already burnt off one sleep turn, so I'm either guaranteed to wake up this turn or like 2 turns later. So he does bring out the Darmanitan, and what move does he lock himself into? He actually locks himself into Flare Blitz, thinking it's his best chance. And honestly, at this point in time, it kind of is his best chance. But seeing how much damage that's doing, I can totally stall this Darmanitan out. So I go ahead and go for the Sleep Talk because this is going to be the second turn of sleep. I didn't think I was going to wake up straight away, and I decide I pull out the rest again. Suicune likes to pull off rest. You're sleeping already. And he goes for the Flare Blitz again, and this turn I actually predicted my Suicune to wake up this turn, and I decided to go and pull a rest right here, go for the rest right here, predicting my Suicune to wake up here, which works out really, really well because that's exactly what happens. And because I was able to get to full HP, there's almost no way that Darmanitan could win at this point. The only way it could really win is if it actually gets 2 crits in a row, and that's a very, very low chance, because that did nothing. That did literally 50 damage here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and go for the Sleep Talk. I'm gonna actually get the Calm Mind on this Sleep Talk here, which is actually pretty nice, and this pretty much just guarantees the victory, because once my Suicune wakes up, or was Suicune ends up pulling off a Scold, Darmanitan is not going to live the next Scold, so I'm in a really, really good position. Actually, on the next turn, he decides to run away because he didn't want to drag out the battle any further because he knew he lost at that point. Very, very good game, Dooku26. It was very fun having a UU match with you. Hopefully we can have a rematch when hopefully I have a better built team and whatnot. Your team is very well built, very well constructed. I really, really enjoy your team. And that note, if you guys enjoyed this UU live narration, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my videos. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and over the weekends. And until then, guys, xVFRoSTED signing out. Later, guys.